け翼。
自分の仕事は必ず全うする。マンツーマンディフェンスは任せておけ。
What's up guys, this is T.Ken, welcome back to Tsubasa, and I hope you guys are having a fantastic day as usual. Today we are here to discuss about the German twins for Dream Collection, Kevin and Eric Schmidt. So shall we get on with it? Ike! Kevin Schmidt, attack stopping expert, is a skilled-up German player, one of the Schmidt twins, released in the same banner playing for the Rising Sun German team. He can be played as either a defender or defensive midfielder. Kevin is generously given 5 hidden abilities, filling up all slots. Born, 15% auto intercept for his entire team as long as there are 3 or more Germans. Do note that this includes Kevin, so you will only need 2 other Germans to activate it. His second bond is rather restrictive, plus 2% stats to his team with exactly 3 toughness type European players, nothing more or less. His last bond is not as restrictive, 2% stats for his team with 5 or more agility type Japanese players. It seems like Kevin will fit into an agility type Japanese team seamlessly, activating all his bond since agility Japanese teams benefits from the 3 toughness type European players. Next, we have Auto Intercept Enhance, 70% chance to activate a special interception skill when a pass crosses his path. Lastly, Counter Move Forward grants him an additional 15% stats against forward. Kevin's team skill is not relevant, just like all Dream Collection players. His passive counter move, non-flying shot, is a staggering 80% stats bonus for Kevin when opponent choose to use a non-flying shot. So it seems like it is unlikely to pull off a shot against him, especially forwards, as Kevin gets a massive 95% stat bonus in total against forwards. His main skill, tight interception, capped at 440 momentum, is not new, and his sub skill is S rank precise pass, capped at only 350 momentum, which we feel is extremely painful to invest in. Kevin's stats allocation looks great with his stats well distributed into both the speed and tech tree. It makes perfect sense that Kevin does not really need much stats for block due to his massive bonus from his passive. However, that also means that he will be a liability against area threats. As for his limit break, consider going with 25 tackle, intercept, speed and technique, maximizing his defensive potential. Utility build is something to consider when they get better offensive skills in the future. Kevin's in-match parameters are pretty decent with our suggested limit break. Against any players other than forward, his tight interception hits a solid 60.4k and his tight marking reaches 55.1k force. Against a forward, tight interception is 69.4k and tight marking is 63.3k. And if the forward foolishly decides to shoot, the figure soars beyond comprehension above 100k force. Kevin is rather new, so there isn't much to choose from. Consider giving him S tight marking and A smooth ball keeping. Now, our final thoughts for Kevin Schmidt. Let's talk about what position he's suited for. He is obviously perfect as a side defender, but as a side defender, you won't be activating his 70% auto intercept enhancement as often. On the other hand, due to his 70% auto intercept and defensive stat, he seems quite well suited as a defensive midfielder, but his weak offensive aspect means you might have a difficult time getting rid of the ball after winning it. Alternatively, you can also play him as a central defender to make better use of his 70% auto interception and his non-flying shot killer passive. Ideally, he should be paired with a central defender capable of dealing with area shots. Just for example, someone like 97 Kishida, that pair works very well as Kevin is meant to be played in an agility type Japanese team. So once again, this adds yet another strong defensive option for agility type Japanese team. Kevin fits in an agility plus toughness type non-Japanese team or an agility type Japanese team with a mix of 3 toughness type Europeans and 2 other Germans to activate all his bonds. Any other teams will have a hard time activating his bonds with above mentioned teams. You can also put Dream Collection Eric in the team to activate Kevin's bond, but by doing so you won't be able to activate the 4% buff from Eric's 2 bonds. Eric Schmidt, Agile Offense-Defense Connector, is a toughness type German player that plays for the Germany national team during the Rising Sun arc, along with his twin brother Kevin. Similar to Kevin, Eric is dual position and he can be played either as a defender or a defensive midfielder. As for Eric's hidden ability, it seems like his hidden abilities are copy and paste from his twin brother Kevin, but with different requirements. Strangely though, it is impossible to activate all bonds when playing with Kevin. Bond granting his team a 15% chance to activate special skill during auto-intercept with 5 or more toughness type non-Japanese players. Next bond plus 2% stats for his team with exactly 3 skill type Brazilian players, and plus 2% with exactly 3 skill type non-Japanese players. The last 2 mentioned bonds means that all 3 skill type non-Japanese players need to be Brazilians for both to be activated at the same time. This actually means it's impossible to activate both bonds with Kevin in the same team as Kevin is a skill type non-Japanese player. Next, we have Auto Intercept Enhanced 70% to activate a special skill intercept during Auto Intercept. And lastly, Counter Move Forward, similar to Forward Killer, granting 15% additional stats against forwards. Like Kevin, Eric does not come with a relevant team skill. His passive is same as well, Counter Move against non-flying shots, granting an additional 80% stats against non-flying shots. His main skill, Type Marking, is a S-rank tackle capped at 440 momentum that comes with a 3% foul rate. Similar to Kevin, Eric comes with a weak S-rank sub-skill, Smooth Ball Keeping capped at 380 momentum. As for his stats, we notice that Eric is significantly faster than his brother at first glance at 7.7k speed. He is also more well-balanced defensively with both his tackle and intercept above 8k. Both brothers have decent offensive stats, only to be let down by poor skill support. Since they are twins, we are suggesting the identical build: 25 tackle, intercept, speed, and technique. Eric's in-match parameters and skill forces share the same story as Kevin with a slight variation. His tackle is more prominent at 13.6k while his intercept trails behind at 12.6k. Type Marking is at 60k force and tight intercept at 55.6k. Similar to Kevin, insane numbers are involved when Eric meets a shot, with Type Marking above 100k force and tight intercept at 99.99k. As for his skill build, consider loading him out with S tight interception and A precise pass. Now, final thoughts for Eric. He is meant to be played in a toughness plus skill type non-Japanese team, or a toughness non-Japanese team with a mix of skill type Brazilians in the team to activate all his bonds. Similar to Kevin, Eric is also perfect as a side defender and also good as a defensive midfielder, but has an even weaker pass stats than his brother. But it makes up for it with a higher speed, which will help achieve more auto interceptions. He can also play as a central defender, preferably in a 4-man's defense with another strong area blocker. So guys, overall this Dream Collection banner feels like a Dream Collection banner of old. Strong players with some limitation that works best under certain right conditions. Unlike last month's Dream Collection Igawa and Soga, which feels more like Super Dreamfest characters. Eric and Kevin are both great defenders and defensive midfielders in any team due to their stats, passive, forward killer, hidden abilities, and 70% auto intercept. The twins are meant for more specific teams, as mentioned earlier. They are not as universal as Dream Collection Igawa and Soga, who will have an easier time activating the bonds requirements. Thus, if you do not have any teams that suits the twins, it might be a good idea to give this banner a skip. So that brings us to a close for this video. I hope you guys enjoy watching it. And if you do, leave a like to show your appreciation. It helps the channel a lot. For those that are new to the channel, hit that subscribe button for more upcoming content. And for those who wish to support us financially to keep the channel going, can check out the links in the video description. Finally, special thanks to AoiTopGear for being our Insight Master again. Also thanks to our members over at Patreon and YouTube. You guys are awesome. So guys, thank you for checking out this video. Stay well, stay healthy. I will see you guys in the next one. TK signing off. Bye bye.